Hello and welcome to another episode of Jovi TV. Before I move any further along in this journey abroad, I wanted to address an unavoidable reality to coming to China or coming anywhere abroad for an extended amount of time, meaning more than a couple of weeks. And that is culture shock. Culture shock is, to me, it's a very, very positive part of the whole living abroad experience. This is written about all over the internet. It's talked about among people that come abroad or that take maybe an extended trip to another country. And most people say the same thing about each stage, but call each stage different names. I've chosen to break it down into four fairly distinct, fairly general stages. And maybe this can provide an underlying context to the mood that you may see in me throughout the course of making these videos. I'll make a pact with you though. Once I get into the hard part of culture shock, I will keep making videos so that you don't worry that I'm too deep in the hard part of culture shock. So without further ado, I'm going to address the four stages in order. The first stage is called the honeymoon stage, and that's when someone travels abroad. They're just blown away and overwhelmed with excitement about how awesomely different and fascinating everything is around them. It's like being a tourist or on a vacation, and you see new things, you talk to people, you can't believe how great the different disgusting meal that you ate was. You can't believe how interesting it is that you go an entire 12-hour waking day without talking to anyone that speaks your language, and you get lost and have to cross the highway at night. I did that. And you just have this total appreciation for everything positive and negative that might not be the same kind of outlook if you did those same things at home. That's the honeymoon phase. The second stage is often called a lot of different things, but I would just say it's called the frustration stage. This is where you get frustrated in all the ways that anyone gets frustrated living at home or abroad. In sickness, in anxiety, worry. They're all the regular feelings that people may have throughout their daily lives are manifested in this stage, but they're manifested for a different reason and probably to a different degree because things can get kind of confusing. I don't think this stage is avoidable, and I don't know that I would change it even if I could, because I think having to go through it, make it through that stage, is one of the beautiful parts of living abroad. And I know that once I do move home and build a life for myself, the skills that I'm gaining in this part of the process will pay dividends to how I approach different processes and different challenges in the rest of my life. So bring it, frustration phase. It's coming. All I can do is know it's coming, prepare myself, but also enjoy the moment and know that the value of having to go through it and going through it will pay off tenfold in the end. So the third phase, I would say, is the adjustment phase. I think this is when you slowly begin to accept your surroundings, and while you may not be totally accepting or exciting, it's almost like you're negotiating, okay, do I really want to adjust to this place, or just keep the same attitude I had in the frustration phase and kind of hang on, cling tight to what I was used to before. And I think it's almost like this is the point at which you decide, okay, I'm going to go all the way with this process and I'm going to gain all I can tangible level so that I can become a better person when I get home. And you have to somewhat let go of your tendency to grab hold of what's familiar and keep on to it, or keep holding on to it, I should say. I'm kind of repeating myself. But in sum, the adjustment phase is the phase where you actually start to accept the things that are different. And you may not like them any more or less than your home culture, but you just say, it's part of the deal here and I can't change it. And you kind of accept that you, hopefully, I will, and people in the same process will just say, I wouldn't change it if I could, because it's just different. And experiencing something different, to me, brings a lot of value. And then the final stage is just the acceptance phase. You have pretty much, at this phase, a person in this situation has generally just accepted the culture, has adjusted, and can live here just like they can live anywhere else, or live, in their new place just like they can live anywhere else. And it's not really an issue. The place they live is not really an issue, or is not really a consideration in their daily life. It's a full adjustment, and they're just carrying out their daily life as they would anywhere else. Now, I did say there were 4 stages, but upon returning home, there is another stage called reverse culture shock. But to me, it has to be earned, that reverse culture shock, which is difficult all in itself. It has its own challenges. The reverse culture shock phase can only be achieved or experienced after you've gone through the first 4 stages. So to me, this whole process is all a very, very good challenge. It's a character builder, and to me it builds a lot of intangible value that I can't fully articulate right now, and I probably won't be able to fully comprehend for years to come. But I thoroughly believe that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and not saying that it's going to come close, but I am saying that it's difficult, it's going to be a challenge, and if I can overcome it, then it will pay off somewhere, some way down the road, personally or professionally. I hope professionally, but I know personally. So that's just something I wanted to address with you. I am going to include in the description of this video an article about culture shock, but I think you can probably find one by searching for one on Google, or if you're in China, you have to search on Bing if you don't have a VPN. I will explain that later. This video has gone on for now 7.5 minutes, so I'm going to sign off and close this video saying thank you so much for following. I've really, really enjoyed making these videos so far, and it certainly will continue to provide some solace for me as I am so far away from home and miss all the people that are probably from my hometown watching this, and I look forward to seeing you in person whenever that may be. Thank you for tuning in.